What's popping? What's good?
I think that, you feel like that wasn't our normal, like, no, our last episode was like, hey y'all. Like,
oh, it was a little down?
Yeah. It was,
all right, let's do it.
All right, we're going to start. Hold on. Just act like y'all ain't hear this.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Hey y'all! What's popping? What's good? What's...
No, that was more energized. That first one was like, hey y'all, that's not us.
Dry much?
Yeah. We excited to be here, y'all, just in case y'all thought we were excited.
Yeah, we good.
This is season 2, episode 2.
What it do?
We hope that y'all watched that first episode. We talked about a lot of good things. It's very informative. Today we're gonna talk about something else. We might stir the pot a little bit.
Trigger a little something, you know.
But like, this is only our opinions. However you feel about this topic, you know, leave it in the comments. Message us however you feel about it.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
like I said, we gonna stir. I know we gonna stir the pot. Sorry in advance.
Yeah.
But this is a
it is what it is.
It's a popular topic.
Exactly. So we just gonna get straight into it. And I don't know what made this come up on my mind, because this wasn't really nothing that was going on at the time that I thought about this topic. But I was just like, okay, we could talk about this. So basically, I texted Nat and I was like, you know, we could talk about it's a few different topics, but it all wrap in and tie in together with each other. So it's really just about splitting bills with your partner, you know, the roles in the household, and, you know, should a woman have her own money even if the, you know, her male partner or the female partner, however y'all get down, should a woman have her own money even if the partner takes care of everything? Right? So that's really
so basically all in
that's
all,
what it
what
is
she's
today.
saying is it's the 50-50 topic.
Yeah, the 50-50 topic that everybody has their own opinion on.
Right.
And I just want to start out by saying, whatever fits in your household, that's what fits in your household. You know, whatever works for y'all, that works for y'all. If this don't work for y'all, whatever we about to say, then it don't. I mean, everybody just have to go along with what works for them, you know. So, and
I just want to co-sign that and be like, I agree with her. So like I said, you guys might not agree with whatever we're saying in this episode. However you feel, make sure to leave it in the comments. Right. You know, like, we're not gonna be like, oh my god, why you feel that way, because it's whatever fits for you, whatever works for you and your partner. But yeah, we about to get down to the nitty-gritty.
Period. So we just gonna start off with the first one, which I said was the splitting the bills with your partner. So, Nat.
Okay, so the splitting the bills with your partner, I ain't never lived with any of my partners. It's been a talk, but I've never actually been in a situation. But like, when I get to that point, I feel like I'm gonna just talk about me in general. So I'm such a, like, I gotta do something. I have to do something. Like,
same.
You know, like, I just can't sit around and just let you do everything, just because I take into that aspect of mentally what other stuff you have to do outside of us, outside of me. So it's just kind of like I think about overall aspect, how it would feel if, like, my partner would take on literally all the bills, and maybe you're not where you want to be in life yet. Maybe, you know, like, because it's different if you, like, dating a rapper or NBA player. Like, they got you know, they contracts they sign, they for sure getting their money, they got a bag, their bag is different. But like, when you're dating, like, and I don't want to say like no like regular person, but when you dating somebody and they still trying to get to their dreams, their goals and stuff like that, of course they're not going to have all the money they want yet, and they might want to provide for you fully, but they're just not there yet. So I think about that aspect, and I'm just kind of like, all right, like, just for me, I would want to help the person. If they're not there yet, I would want to help with something. And I think because a lot of girls like to call it pick me, You know, like that's also a thing where it's like, oh,
Yeah.
you're a pick me, like, you know, because some people cool with 50-50, some people cool with 75-25, some people cool with like letting a man do whatever for them and they don't want
100 and 0.
Yeah, and they don't want to do anything. And look, I'm not knocking y'all. Whatever you want to do, that works for you, but it might not work for me. So for me, like, I always felt like when I get to that, I'm gonna want to help with something, whether it's like my man taking care of the rent, the mortgage, like, okay, I'm gonna take care of the smaller bills, like water, cell phone, whatever it is, groceries, stuff like that. And that's okay. That's gonna work for me, like I said. But all in all, to answer that question, like, I just feel like I have to do something.
Yeah, and I feel the same way, and I live with my boyfriend. Me and my boyfriend live together. And that's how the situation is. He takes care of majority of everything, but when it comes down to, you know, me getting groceries and me paying, like, you know, the electricity and stuff like that, like, that's what I do. Because I'm like you, like, I want to contribute something. Like, I don't just want to not pay anything, you know what I'm saying? So contributing that is, I feel like, is better than me not contributing nothing at all, because I'm gonna get the groceries. You don't gotta go to the store and be
right, exactly.
and be in a line and go get all the groceries and pick up the strawberries and stuff. Like, you don't have to do that. Like, I'm gonna do that, you know. And then that just goes into like the roles of the household too. So it's like, as far as that, okay, my boyfriend tells me, like, okay, I do what I do, of course, for himself, for his foundation, but I do what I do as well for you, because we want to be together long term. So he's building that foundation, and of course I'm still building my own foundation. That's why I say all this ties in together.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Because I still feel like, as a female, even though my man is providing for me, I still have to have my own coin. It may not be the biggest coin, but of course I wanted to get there. But I still feel like us females should still have our own. You know what I'm saying? Still know how to be an individual, but know how to be a partner as well. Don't be too much as an individual to be like, oh, I'm independent, I don't need no man now. Like, I'm not saying that, like, because in all honesty, we all need each other. The man needs woman, woman needs man, you know what I'm saying? So all that ties in together. So I feel like I want to be able to, as we're just talking about bills, I want to be able to contribute in some sort of way, and just not, like, you know, sit back and relax.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. Like I said, we might ruffle some feathers on this one, but it's really what works for you.
Right.
Like Faith says, like, okay, me and her agree on that aspect. Like, she feels like she has to do something, and like you said, like, your boyfriend take care of, like, the big bill, that one big bill, and you take care of everything underneath there. But just like, I'm just looking at it as in an aspect of, like, okay, just imagine your boyfriend taking care of everything. You don't do nothing, but like one day he have a bad day, or like he got a bad week, and it's just a lot, like, to be like, oh, I gotta pay this bill, I gotta pay this, like, I feel like a relationship is teamwork to me.
Yeah,
it's definitely teamwork. Okay, so like, when you a team, like, everybody got a role.
Yeah,
like, and for me, I just want to have like a certain role, because I just don't want to sit back and you just doing all the work, because I'm gonna just feel like this ain't no team. Like, it's not a team. But yeah, y'all, so I definitely agree with Faith. Like I said, I'm not there yet. Me and my boyfriend talking about doing that, and that was the talk too. Like, I was just, me, like you said, it's funny that you say that, because like at one point I was just so independent. Like, I would literally, and I feel like I intimidated a lot of people when I used to date back then, because it was just like, all right, well, like, she don't need anything. And I used to have people like offer, like, do you need anything? Do you want food? Da, da, da. And I was just so in that mindset of like, I don't need you. Like, I don't need you. And I had to realize that, we talked about this, that it's toxic to be that way, to be so independent where you don't let a man be a man.
right. That's important.
That is, it is, and I had to realize that because I'm like, dang girl, like ain't nothing working out for you, like ain't nothing working out. So like I had to kind of self-reflect, and I'm just like, all right. And I remember my mama telling me one day, and she's like, I was like in a dating phase, I think, and she was telling me, she was like, you're just so independent, like you're never gonna be able to find anybody because you just feel like you gotta do everything on your own. And I had to realize, like, well, damn, that is kind of true, because I ain't letting a man be a man. Like, if he want...
Right, his nature.
Right, if he want to send me money for, like, lunch, if he want to do certain stuff for me, like, let him. Like, that's what he wants to do. Like, I used to just kind of be like, nah, I got it. I'm gonna get something to eat. Like, and that is so, like, kind of, like... Right, so, like, it's just, like, dang, like, I had to see, like, okay... Like I said, this all plays a part, because it's just, like, I had to see that I gotta let a man be a man. And now in my current relationship, I'm kind of like, I let him do what he wants to do, because like he'll tell me, he'll be like, nah, like we had this talk, and it was just like I'm gonna take care of all the rent. And I was like, I think I said something, and I was just like, well, if you ever need help, he was like, hell no. He was like, hell no. Like he just put it into it, and I just let him. Cause like even when we like buying stuff, or like he wants to do everything for me, and it's still kind of like new to me, because like I said, I used to never let nobody do anything for me, because it was always a thing where I felt like if mad day comes, you gonna be like,
oh, well, I do this, I do that, you don't do nothing.
Yeah.
I'm like, hold up.
When it comes from the heart, that's not what's supposed to come out your mouth.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Right.
Like I'm a big believer in that. If you do something genuinely out your heart for somebody, it's never supposed to come back. Like I'm so big on that. If I ever did anything for you, it was from the heart. You ain't never gonna hear from it. Not even if we fall out. Like it's just, that's just like one of the like rules for me. Yeah. And that was why I was so independent, because it was just like, I done seen some stuff, I done heard some of my friends, like I done did this for her, I done did that for her, and this how she, and it just be kind of like, dang.
Well, damn, like, were you really doing that with pure intentions? Were you really doing that with pure heart? Like, of course people be upset when, say for example, somebody did them something, but the other person been doing certain stuff for them, and it's like, damn, like, you know, it could be a slap in the face, but at the same time, when you say stuff like that, you don't want it to seem like, oh, like you counting things that you done for me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a tit for tat. And, you know, a lot of us get in that space at times, but, you know, that's really not the best way to go about things.
Right, and I agree. So, like I said, I was always that, like, this is probably like the first or maybe like the first person I ever really like do anything for me, because it was always like I'm like, no. Like, and even down to like I'm doing long distance right now, and then even like the first time I went out there, everything was booked. Like I didn't pay for nothing, I didn't touch my card, and I'm just kind of like, this kind of new. Like I'm like,
can I?
And he was like, no, and I'm just like,
just sitting there like.
Yeah, no, literally, I'm like, why? I'm like, why? And I had to like really sit back and be like, okay, Natalie, like, you know, like somebody's gonna like you enough to do all the things out their heart and not throw it back in your face. I think that was always my fear. Like, I gotta do everything, I gotta pay for this. Like, I'm okay, I don't need nobody, because you ain't gonna be able to throw anything back in my face. And I had to realize, not everybody's like that. Just because I've seen stuff, or I've witnessed certain stuff, or read certain things of like, not everybody's like that. You know, like some people are actually genuinely good people. So that was always like a struggle for me, because it was always like now I'm more open to like, okay, it being 75-25 or like 50-50, like you said, whatever works for you, I'm more open to it. But I'm just gonna be honest, I ain't never gonna be open to 0 and 100. Like I'm not. I can't even sit here and lie. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Like I said, some girls are okay like with letting their man pay for everything, and I'm not knocking y'all. I'm just saying this was works for me. This is what I'm okay with. Like, but 0 and 100, I just feel like we agree. I gotta do something. Like, I don't know what it's gonna be, but I have to feel like I'm doing something. It's more so like, okay, like I'm just not sitting back, like letting you take on every little thing, and then because that kind of feels like you taking on the whole world.
Yeah.
And it's just like I don't want you to carry the whole world by yourself.
Right. It's like no break, and that's like even and like say for example, if somebody was like a stay-at-home mom, like kids are a job. That is a job. Like that is a pure job.
Shout out to all the moms.
Yeah, shout out to them. Yeah, not a mom yet, but
that is definitely a job.
Yeah, that's even though that person, you know, as far as the mom, they're not working, or vice versa, stay at home mom, stay at home dad. Like even though this person isn't like physically leaving the house and going to a workplace or going to work on a business, this person is still taking care of kids, the house, making sure everything is clean, making sure whoever, whether man or woman, when they get back from work, then everything else is all, you know, good. Then that is a full-on job. That's a full-on job.
It really is. And then even in that aspect, it's not 0 and 100, because it's like, all right, this whichever significant other is outside going to work, going to, you know, make money, but the other significant other, they're inside, and you making dinner, you cooking breakfast, you making sure the kids get to school on time, doing laundry, cleaning the house. Like that is like you said, that's a job in itself. Being a mom, being a dad, whatever. Like, because we ain't gonna just specifically put a gender role, but yeah. like I said, being even a stay-at-home parent, whichever dad or mom, it's a job in itself. Like you have to get up, you can't sleep all day, you still gotta get up. You still gotta get your kids to school. You still gotta put them to bed at a certain time. Make sure your significant other is fed and your kids are fed. So it's like, it's still a job in itself. Like that's not even, to me, that's not 0 and 100. That's still, you still making sure the home is okay.
Right.
Instead of your significant other coming home and they like being like, oh, well, nothing's done. Then your significant other is doing a job, going out into the world doing a job, and then coming home and doing a job. So it's like you save them that extra job once they get home. Like all you gotta do is come and relax.
And I feel like even just speaking for me, like we don't have no kids, but you know, I still do what I do. Like my job, what I do is not strenuous like his. Like his is he does more physical, right? And I do more like, I'm a realtor. Like a lot of times I don't have to go out. Like it's me being on the computer or whatever. Like a lot of stuff that I do and like dealing with social media is on the computer, so I don't have to be in the field. Like I don't have to do that unless I'm going to show a house. But you know what I'm saying? So doing that and still being able to cook and wash clothes and do all the extra things, make groceries, do all this and do all that to make sure he doesn't have to do that. Damn, I lost my train of thought. But that's what I want to say. And even if somebody slacks off, I feel like we have to learn to give each other grace.
Yeah.
And even give ourselves grace, because it's a lot of pressure on both ends of the spectrum, you know? So it's like, of course you want both sides to be able to obtain their roles and obtain what they have going on, but sometimes we can slack. Like a stay-at-home mom, okay, the baby was sick all day, so I couldn't go do the laundry, or I couldn't go do this because I had to do more of this. So it's like being understanding in that element as well when, you know, times do slack off, you know.
I definitely agree, because I feel like we hold our partner or whatever, our significant other
to a higher
standard. And especially if they have these standards, like when y'all met, when like a year into dating and stuff like that, and then like they just have like a bad day or a bad week, and then you just like, damn, like, are you just like, you know, like why, like just picking at stuff. And it's just like you said, you gotta understand me. I'm just such a understanding person. I'm like, why would this person feel this way, or why are you doing this? Like I'm just so like, or how would I feel if I was doing this to this person? That's like how I move in life, just in general. So it's just like you said, giving grace in your relationships, and like when you living with somebody to like, and that's where it comes in, like teamwork. Like a relationship is a team. Like you said, you can't be with somebody and just be like, okay, like solo. Like I couldn't be with this person and still be like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do that. Like I had to let him come in and do what he needed to do as a man for me, because that's like what a man is supposed to do. That's what we were taught. Like, you know, a man is supposed to take care of his woman and stuff like that. So for me, like, it's just like, this goes back to, I couldn't be with somebody and still be trying to do everything by myself and then still have that mentality of I don't need nobody. And then it's just like, that's not a team.
Right. And it's like, people are gonna fail. Like your partner is gonna disappoint you.
They're not perfect.
They're gonna disappoint you. Like, and it's like, it's crazy because it's like this person could be doing
side note,
good.
We're not talking about disappointing and like cheating and
no.
and, like we're talking about disappointing.
Just roles, like you know, and the responsibility each person has.
Yeah.
So it's like this person could be doing so good for a year, but then a week they just like slacking off. They in with depression for whatever reason. It's like you just pointing out the depression. You just pointing out, oh, they was doing bad, or they was doing this, they was doing that, but you not even commending them why, or commending them for the other times that they was on 10. You know, they was doing good all the time, but you just pointing out what they was doing wrong.
Right. And I think that's like you said, once you start holding somebody to the standard and they fall off for like a week or a day, and then you just like ready to bash.
Yeah.
And it's just like I think understanding, but that goes back to understanding your partner in general. If you don't really understand or know your partner and be like, okay, like why is this? Something's off. Like you should be able to pinpoint when your partner is off. Like, because sometimes it just gets overlooked. Like, oh, whatever. Like, you know, you still go about your day as a woman or as a man, but you need to be able to pinpoint like when something's wrong with your partner. Because a lot of people are good at hiding stuff too. Like,
that's true.
A lot of people are definitely good at hiding stuff, but like knowing, like, because I'm an energy person, so like when Faith's energy is off, I know it, and I'm pretty sure when she knows like my energy is off, she'll know like what's wrong, whatever. But it's just like just knowing the person that you're like really fully knowing the person that you with too is like that plays a role, because it's just like you should be able to like know when something's wrong, and like you said, when that comes about, like not just kicking them when they're down. Like we should not kick our partners when they're already down, going through depression, going through whatever. It's like life is already hard. I'm sorry, life is already hard. So when you have somebody that you like really love and care about, like, and they're going through those phases where they're down, they're out, like it's just life is just like too much, and you just kicking them when they're down, you're not really trying to understand them, you just like pointing a finger instead of uplifting them, and you're not really helping them. Like helping somebody in those times of need is really, it plays a part, especially when you're living together. Like Faith said, like you should be able to pick up your partner's slack. That's like, I feel like that should be like a definite, like if you can't do all those things, then I don't think you should be, because there's a lot of, like I see a lot of TikToks. I be on TikTok and they be like,
me too.
They be like, I don't know if you've seen TikToks where people move in with their significant other and it just all falls apart. Yeah. And it's just like, sometimes you just be like, they be like, you know, it was all good before we moved in together.
Or like with a friend too.
Yeah, and it's just like, okay, well,
move in with your best friend. Don't move because y'all not gonna be friends no more, and all this stuff like that.
But and to me, it's just like, all right, so like there was no problems before y'all moved in, or there was no problems, there was no like friction before y'all moved in, because I feel like two people that really want to be together, or like two people that are really friends, like I ain't gonna say that I've never fought with any of my friends, or we never disagreed, or like, but we could come back mutually and be like, okay, well, I don't really agree with you, but I don't have to disrespect you to disagree with you. I don't have to like
to get the point across.
Yeah, like, so I feel like in those cases, are you really that person's friend, or were y'all really friends, or were y'all really like into each other? Because it's just like, even like with a significant other, because it's just like how y'all just moved in and like it all falls apart.
Yeah.
Like, to me, like I said, somebody might disagree with me, that's fine. But to me, it just be like, dang, like, because people be like, you know, like, that's just well, they be like the honeymoon stage. And then once y'all move in, it just all falls apart and everything changes and stuff like that. And I just be like, how?
Right. It's not adding up. So what's the real issue? Is the question. Like, what really happens there to have someone, like, not be friends or not be in a relationship after y'all, like, move out? I mean, not move out. Move in. I don't know.
I don't know either, because I've had like, my roommate in college, but we weren't really best friends, but we fell out because after, like, being roommates, like, we were just cool. We weren't, like, and it was just like, I don't know, like I said, you should really, like, get to know a person before y'all move in together. That's the one thing. And then, but, like, in that instance, that wasn't, like, my best friend. We were just cool. We knew each other, like, but we weren't, like, that. Yeah. But we did fall out because we were roommates. And, like, the roommate situation, like, made us
distant.
Yeah, like, it just, like, she ended up moving out. Because it was just, like, really weird, really awkward. We had got into it, whatever, and that was kind of like, but like I said, that wasn't really, like, I ain't gonna say it was my, like, best friend. Like, if it was my best friend or something, I'd be like, okay, but it was just a friend, and we ended up, I don't know, like I said, but that situation definitely taught me to, like, really get to know a person, how they live, how they are, cleanness, like, all of that, like, really get to know a person before you move in with them, because or before you decide to roommate with them, because I feel like a lot of that stuff come up too, where it's just like, you ain't know your friend was like this, or you ain't know how they, but you do know how your friend is, you do know how your significant other is, even with before that, because y'all sleeping somewhere, or y'all going out to the club, y'all getting ready and stuff like that, and you should be able to see, like, okay, how does this person get ready, how does this person clean up, like like, do they leave all the dishes in the sink? Like, all that type of stuff. And if that's stuff that bothers you, I think that's before you live in, like, you start living with the person, you should address it. Or you should, like, really see and, like, kind of ask yourself if that's something that you can deal with. Because for me, like, I don't think I could ever live with somebody that leave dishes in the sink for, like, days on. Like, that give me OCD. Like, I can't do it. Like, why are all these dishes in the sink? They dirty. Like, don't, And then that comes into, like, are you a person that can wash dishes? Are you, like, I like cleaning. I like washing dishes. Like, I'm that type of person. I don't like seeing a mess in my home. I will really go to somebody else's home and start cleaning. Like, can I clean this? Because I don't like, yeah, because I used to do that to my boyfriend when he had a roommate, and it was like his roommate, like, that would leave, like, all these dishes around, and I used to come to the apartment, and I used to be like, can I clean this? And he just would laugh, and it got to a point where his roommate was kind of like, she about to come here and clean, and it was just like, yes, because no, I can't do this. And my boyfriend was like, I ain't dirty them dishes. And he was just kind of like, once I start seeing that, I can't even touch it. And I'm just like, all right, well, I'm still about to clean it because it looked unpresentable. Like, I just can't do it. Yeah. And so it gets to a point where it's just like, is that something that you can do? Like, if you do love somebody, you don't want to, like, let's just say, for instance, you love somebody, right? Or Faith. I'm just using Jamal. Jamal, don't come for me. Jamal leaves all the dishes in the sink. And like, he'll just pile up the dishes, like, for like 2-3 days, whatever. And then you don't like to wash dishes, or you don't like to clean up. That's when it becomes a problem. But I always did wonder, because, like, when I be on TikTok just scrolling, I be like, why do people literally be like, I moved in with my boyfriend, you know, the little voiceover, I moved in with my boyfriend, and it's been like 2 months, and now we're moving out,
and we're broken up,
and don't move in with your significant other. And I'll be like,
listen, don't throw what you got going on us.
No, for real, because I'll be like, dang, I ain't even there yet, but y'all just kind of making it seem like it's so bad to move in with your significant other. But then I look at Faith, y'all, and like she said, like, her and her boyfriend live together. How long y'all been living together?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No, it's been a lot of time.
Yeah, it's been a while. She over here being mysterious, but it's been a while. so to say. And like I see her talk about it. They don't have any problems. They don't have any issues. Like Faith ain't never come here like, girl, don't move in with your significant other. Like she don't put that energy out. So I'm looking at your situation.
Listen, it's hard. Okay. But it's hard, y'all.
But she don't come in. I mean, every relationship gonna have their bumps in a row. Right. Every person is gonna have their bad day, and y'all gonna bump heads, and you're gonna be like, damn, whatever. And I'm not taking away from none of that, because everybody got that in our relationship. Not everything is sunny. Like we gonna have bad attitudes, bad days. We gonna disagree. We not gonna be best friends. But tomorrow you might be my best friend again. Or maybe by the end of the night you might be my best friend again. But right now you're not my best friend.
Period. Now let me chill. Let me go watch Netflix and
you just play the game, do whatever you do, read, whatever. So it's like I'm not taking away from that, but it's like I said, I just be looking at your situation. I'll be like, okay, well, my friend doing it. Like, she ain't coming here. She ain't being like, girl, don't move in with your... And then I see the girls on TikTok, they like, girl, don't move in with your significant other. So I'm like, people are actually... I just want to say this. Like, don't let it discourage you. Like, if there's somebody you want to be long-term with, y'all talked about being long-term, and like, y'all really see y'all being with each other, then I feel like, don't be so like... Because, like, when you see stuff like that and, like, people be like, oh, I just moved in with my significant other and we not together, you kind of like,
But I feel like that depends on the person, too, and if they want to work that out, because...
Yeah, that's true.
Like, some people are lazy. Some people already claim that they want to be in a relationship, but when a problem comes up, they don't even want to try to resolve or try to figure out, like, what the hell is going on. So that's what happens, and then they end up breaking up and then moving out or whatever, because they weren't mature enough to try to figure out what the hell was going on. So of course, me and my man have had, arguments or whatever, but that's not just gonna steer me into being like, okay, we need to, I need to go get my own apartment now. Like, no, like, I want it to work out. I want it to be long term. So we're gonna work it out and figure this out. We're not about to do all that. And then it's like, I hate when people say, oh, don't move in with your significant other, or when they say stuff like that, I don't like it, because it's like, are you gonna wait until you and this person if that's what y'all want to do, if y'all want to get married, y'all gonna wait till y'all get married and move in with each other to figure that out?
Right.
Or would y'all rather figure that out beforehand, figure out that y'all can live with each other and how each other, work,
stuff like that,
and then find out that it's a good fit, and then y'all can proceed forward in being married. But then you never even moved in with each other. Y'all got married, and then y'all moved in with each other, and then now you want a divorce.
It's a disaster.
Like, no, you gotta test the waters out, honey.
Yeah,
you gotta test it out.
I definitely agree with you. Like I said, I've never been in that boat. I'm working.
And talk about the rules that's going on.
Yeah, I've never lived with a significant other, so I don't really know. But like I said, I'm working towards that right now, currently. So it's just like, but do you have those people where, oh, it's just the honeymoon phase? Like, once you move in together, everything changes, and I'm just like,
it's not true.
But it's just like, don't be that person either, because it's just like, if somebody's so happy about being with their significant other, or like trying to build with somebody and stuff like that, and you see them really happy, don't be the Debbie Downer to be like, I don't think you should do that, or you're just in a honeymoon phase right now, and it changes once you live together, once you have a baby, Don't do that, because then I'm gonna just be like,
because your situation may not be that other person's situation, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, don't put that on somebody else just because that's something that you went through, or that your friend went through. Like, let me have my own experience.
And even if somebody has that experience and it doesn't work out, like, don't be that that, oh, I told you so, like, or I told you so, nah, I told you not to move in. Like, no, don't do that. And I feel like that's why I'm so, like, happy I have the friends I have and stuff like that, because, like I said, I'm working right now to do that and stuff, and I don't feel like, well, I have heard a few people, like older people, like, oh, you just on a honeymoon phase, whatever, it all changes. But like the friends I have around me, they're all like, okay, well, you know, do what makes you happy. If that's what makes you happy, then do it. Like even my mom, she's just like, okay, well, I'm gonna miss you when you leave, but I know that you're happy. I know that, you know, like that's something that you want to do. And then like I said, opposed to having like negative friends, a negative parent, like if it don't work, and I'm not saying in my case, but if it don't work, like just let your friends or whoever, your family members, let them figure it out on their own. Don't just shut that down, because like Faith said, you don't want to get married. I don't want to get married and then we move in together, because like what, like I got my own place, you got your own place, and then we get married and then we move in together, and then I start to see stuff or whatever, or I'm just not agreeing with stuff. That's when like the problem really come in, because it just be like we done lived together separately for so long. I'm so used to one thing and you're so used to your routine, and then it clash. You that's when it clashes, because it's just like, all right, like I done lived this way for so long. You done lived this way for so long. I might wake up at 5 in the morning, get breakfast, go to the gym.
And you waking up at 12 o'clock.
Yeah, and then we got problems.
In the afternoon.
You mad at me because I'm turning on the lights, I'm getting ready, you hear the blender making a smoothie. And you mad at me, but this is how I done lived for so long. This is how you done lived for so long. So that's where the problem comes in, because it's just like we ain't know how we was living. Like we didn't know how our morning routine was, what time we went to bed, all this stuff. We didn't know that, because we done lived together separately for so long. And now we married. Now we done signed the dotted line. Signed it, and now we married. So like, what we gonna do? We about to get a divorce. You married and you about to get a divorce.
Now you ready to sign the papers again, but some different papers.
Right, exactly. And it's side note, it's easy to get married. It's hard to get a divorce. It's so hard to get a divorce, because I know, because I know somebody going through it. But it's just like, I feel like you, like Faith said, you should really get to know and test those waters before you even get married. Like if it don't work, it don't work. But if it do work, you know,
period.
It's working for Faith. So, and that's my my example right here, y'all. Because like I said, I be seeing so many TikToks of girls like, no, don't do it, and I just be like, my friend doing it.
It's cool, y'all. It's cool.
But that becomes your best friend, like literally your best friend.
It's cool. This
girl here.
No, bro, y'all. It's cool though. It's cool.
So on to the next topic of, should a woman have their own with a significant other? Like even if your significant other provides for you, should a woman have their own? Why not?
Yeah, I feel like she should have her own for two reasons. Of course, for you to be secure, for you to still be able to do things that you want to do, and for you to just feel secure as a woman. And just like a man, for him to be secure in being a man, like you always want to have that backing, you know what I'm saying? You always want to. And of course, if your significant other, if your man is taking care of everything, you want to be able to, you know, have your own money to be able to do something for him, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like returning the favor. But always, me personally, always as a woman, I feel like we should have something of our own and something for us to, you know, strive for. Like have some goals, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you want to do with your life? Like, and it's just not even pertaining money, but like goals. Like, what do you want to do, like, with your life? I saw this post.
I know what post you about to talk about on Justin Little Boy page.
And I had posted it too, because my boyfriend had sent me that, and I was like, yeah, that's so true. Wait. It says, you can ask a woman about her life goals and she can't tell you, cannot tell you, but ask her what she wants out of a man and she won't stop talking. And I feel like that's really true, because it's like a lot a lot of us females, our priorities is just so not in line. And it's like we always worried about a man, or like we worried about the wrong thing. But when somebody asks you, like, okay, what do you want out of life? Okay, well, what are you doing on a day-to-day to work towards your goals? What are your goals? What do you want to do with yourself? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? And y'all can't answer.
Or you're so dependent of a man, you just forget about everything that you want to do.
Right.
You just you get with somebody. Let's just say, because this is what I take a lot from TikTok. You get with somebody, a rapper, a NBA player, or somebody just with money. Let's just say, and they do for you. They provide for you. They give you money, and you're spending this money on things like designer bags and stuff, like the image for social media.
Right.
But it's just like, are you using this money? Like, if you're going to do that, like I said, I'm not knocking nobody. If you're going to do that, at least do it and be like, okay, well, I'm going to get some clothes. I'm going to find a vendor. I'm going to get some clothes, some shoes.
Make a business out of it.
Make a business out of it instead of taking the money, being so dependent on a man, taking the money and you buying bags, you buying Chanel, you going to Dior, and it's all for an image.
Right.
Like, you don't have anything to do outside of going to Saks, outside of going to Neiman Marcus. You just buying bags, buying shoes, whatever. And that's it. And he's providing your lifestyle. He's providing your lifestyle.
And then you know what the crazy part is? Us women be so... Say, for example, we just gonna stick with that situation that Natalie talking about. So you have this man that's providing for you. You don't have to pay for nothing. He giving you, like, you damn near have an allowance at this point that he give you to go, you know, shop and do what you want to do, right? But then y'all break up. And I'm not in no way trying to, like, think about, like, the negative, you know what I'm saying? But say, for example, y'all break up. Okay, you ain't balling like that. You are not balling like that. So now you don't have nothing. Now you don't have nothing because you went and spent all this in Saks and in Neiman Marcus and Chanel and Dior and Gucci, Louis, and you don't have nothing else. So now he got you in this penthouse or whatever, and I had seen a video like that too before. He got you in this penthouse. He got you the I don't know, the most brand new Mercedes or whatever Bentley they got out there, right? And now you don't even have no money because you wasn't trying to do nothing for yourself besides spend the money that he was giving you on whatever. Now you don't have no money to maintain this lifestyle.
Right.
So now, like, now what are you gonna do? You weren't even working towards anything to try to maintain it yourself. If you know, if this situation was to come about,
I'm just saying, like,
now you SOL.
I'm just saying, like, okay, like I said, we not knocking nobody like that. If that's what if you find somebody that gives you those allowances, that gives you all this money, sends you $1,000 Apple Pay, like, all this, like, I'm not knocking it, okay?
Right.
Kudos to you, but, sister, you make sure you're using that money for something to invest in. It don't even got to be a business. If you, like, investing into stocks, making your money, making other money, like, you know, and even if you don't know how to do none of that, you don't want to start a business, whatever, like, you
got the money to pay somebody to show you.
Yeah, you do. Or you're getting the money frequently. So it's just like, I'm just saying, like, and I think that's why men sit here and bash women a lot, because they're like, you know, women dating men's pockets, and 95% of that is true. Yeah. A woman is not, there's like a 5% that is just like, they're going to help you. They're going to, you know, they're going to want to add value to you. And, you know, like, it's reciprocated. But Kelly is texting you. You're getting Kelly's number, and she wants to know what bills you're paying this week. Kelly, this is an example. Kelly, you getting Kelly number in the club.
Oh, you saying an example for the man?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you getting Kelly's number in the club, and she want to know what bills you paying or what you buying her right off the bat.
Right.
And that's just what it is. So, and like I said, I'm not knocking women, because women they're looking for somebody to provide. You want somebody to protect you. You want somebody to do for you.
Mm-hmm.
But this is why men bash us, because it's just like, you're coming into situations, you already right off the bat looking for money. Then you're going to spend the money on you getting your Kelly need her rent money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, let's just say she come across somebody that give her rent money. There's men that's gonna give you money right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
There's men like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he give you your rent money, and Kelly don't go put the money to rent. She go to Saks.
Right.
And it's just like, dang, sis. And then you crying about how you're about to get evicted. And it's just like it's just like being smarter as women. That's what I'm really trying to put out. Like I said, I'm not knocking nobody. Whatever fits for you, whatever works for you, that's for you. Because just like whatever works for me, and whatever works for Faith, works for Faith. But I'm just saying, being smarter. What we saying is being smarter as women.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a man is gonna be here today, might not be here tomorrow.
Right.
And that's just the reality of it. And men could look at that the same way. I'm not just doing this one way. Some women gonna be here today, some women not gonna be here 2 days from now. And that's just the reality of it.
Right. So you always gotta have your own. You always have to have your own. Of course, let your partner do for you, but still do your own. Cause my boyfriend say all the time, you don't have to do this, like, you don't have to do that, but it's my thing. I want to be a realtor. I want to start other businesses. I want to do that because just being exposed to it, and of course being around him and seeing what he's doing, like, that inspires me to want to do more. But always have your own. Of course, be independent, but not, like we were saying earlier, but not to the point where you just like F a nigga and I don't need him and all that stuff like that. Nah, I'm not saying that, because like I said earlier, we all need each other. Man need woman, woman need man.
And let me just cut you. And not even like we're not even just talking solely financially, mentally.
Right.
Like, Faith gonna need her boyfriend on the bad days where she ain't feeling it, or like, when that time of the month comes, she might need him to run to the store, or like stuff like that.
He don't run to the store.
This girl here. And so but we just saying, we're not even talking about solely financially. Like, you're gonna need somebody even mentally, like, even to uplift you and stuff like that. But yeah, I just want to chime in.
Yeah, but that's really about it. Just being able to hold your own when, if that person is not going to be around the next day, you still need to be able to have money to get you an apartment. You still need to have your individuality, especially in the mind and just as a person, because you don't want to just be solely dependent on your significant other. You still have to be an individual, but still also know how to be able to allow this other person to help you. You still need to know how to accept help and allow a man to be a man and allow the woman to be the woman. So that's really all that is, and that's really all it is wrapped up in that topic. The topic in general, that's really about it.
Yeah,
that I gotta say.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like we said, whatever works for you in your relationship, make sure you emphasize that, because there's so many, like, on Twitter even, like, there's so many, like, debates where it's just like, no, like, I don't, like, the 50-50 debate, basically, and it's always like an argument, and it's just like, I'm not arguing with nobody. Like, whatever works for you, and whatever works for me, works for me. And so, like, basically, all in all, that's what this episode is saying. But as women, like, don't be so dependent of a man. And I think that's kind of like what we saying, because then you, like, so dependent of this man who has money, who's giving you money, and you're not putting it to use. Like, whether you don't have to pay rent, whether you don't have to pay a car note or whatever, like, like we saying, if you gotta get that money and pay your bills. But even if you got your own income coming in, you got somebody helping you, you got your own income coming in, use your income for something to like generate more money, or like something that's gonna, if this man ain't here to cover your bills, like you gonna be able to find a way to pay your own bills and get what you need to get. So it's just like just having your own, like that's all we say, it does not hurt to have your own, and being smart as women, because that's why men be bashing us, because we just don't be making smart decisions.
Right. Period. But yo, we got some new cards, same cards, different topic. The other cards that we had were the
ladies' night.
Yeah, the ladies' night edition. They was getting a little crazy over there. So we got some new cards for season 2, and it's called the Self-Love Deck. So we about to go on and see what they talking about in here. Let's just get this little small deck right here. I don't know, let's shuffle them. I don't know, because Natalie said she had looked and read a couple of them.
I did. They some deep questions. They gonna have you like, dang. All right. No, you want to pick?
Yeah, go, just pick it.
All right. Let me get this. All right, I'm reading both.
It don't matter.
Okay, I'll read both. Ooh. Have you ever lost yourself trying to find another person? If so, what did you do on that journey?
Have I ever lost myself trying to find another person?
If so, what did you do on that journey?
Yeah, I did. And just going back to what we were saying, not being smart. So me and this guy was talking. At first I didn't really want to talk to the guy because of the reputation that he had. So I didn't talk to him, but then like he kept trying to, talk to me. So I'm like, okay, like he cute, like, I'm gonna just try it or whatever. So he had asked me out on a date. I was like, all right, cool. So we went out on a date. We started talking, ended up getting in a relationship or whatever. And then probably like it's some months down the line now, and he just like randomly like, oh, I'm not feeling it no more. I'm not feeling it. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Because it was so out the blue. I didn't know like if there was anything I did wrong or anything that I needed to improve upon. So I was just like kind of lost. So he just stopped talking to me. So I'm just like, okay. So now I'm like kind of lost, and it's like, you go through the motions of like, what did I do and all that stuff like that. What's wrong with me?
What am I lacking?
Yeah. So, but this person showed me who they were, and what did I do? I kept going back to this person. I'm like trying to figure out, but knowing that this person had already had their mind set up, I still kept going back to this person. And I'm just like, looking back at that, I'm just like, bro, like you were being very, very weird. Like this dude really just like, do you really want to talk to someone who just like randomly stopped talking to you out of the blue?
Right. Nah.
And they showing you that they don't want to be with you anymore, right, but you still chasing after this person. Like that's weird. Yeah, that's the time that I would say I just wasn't being smart at all.
I feel like same for me. I have been there. I'm not gonna be like, no, I never. It was like something similar to that. Like, and I basically was like trying to prove who I was to a person instead of like, you know who I am, but you still kind of like you're not really downplaying who I am, but you kind of are, and I'm still trying to prove like, okay, I'm loyal, I'm very like, yeah, like I care about you, but it's still not changing our situation. So it's just like, yeah, so I have been there, and yeah, like just if you're there, please get out of there. Because somebody who really care about you, who really want to be with you, they gonna you ain't gonna have to beg nobody or ask nobody to do certain stuff for you if they really care about you. Like, we've all been there.
Yeah.
You've all been at that point. If you are at that point, get out of there.
Deuces.
Okay, so, if you could write a letter to the childhood you, what would it say?
The childhood you, what would it say? I don't know. I gotta think. You?
It would say, probably like, Dear Natalie,
Not the Dear Natalie.
yeah, we writing a letter to our child. So, oh, well, dear little Natalie. It would probably say, like, don't be so hard on yourself. It would say everything happens for a reason, and just because you come from a one-parent household, you still hold value the same as a two-parent household.
What do you mean by that?
Because I feel like as a child, okay, so like, I don't really talk about this, but I come from like just my mom. Like, if my mom ain't here tomorrow, like, that's my only parent. So I feel like growing up as a child, for me, it was kind of like I would see my siblings with they have my mom. My mom's always been actively in our lives, and they have their dads. So it would kind of make me feel like less than, in a way, because I used to be like, okay, well, why my dad not around? Like, all my siblings got their dad, why my dad not around?
Yeah.
So it used to make me kind of feel less than as a kid, because it used to like really matter to me. And so, yeah, so I think that would kind of be my letter to myself, because I just used to be like, well, why I ain't, what's wrong with me? Why my dad ain't around? Kind of thing. So.
Yeah, I feel that. Mine would be like, since you said Dear Natalie, Dear Faith. Don't be so naive. Don't worry about the boys. Just really focus on you, and just really just pay attention to people and who they show you who they are. Just really pay attention and just be careful, because you'll see better down the line in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with the like don't like be naive part, but as a kid, it's just like everybody's gone through certain things as a kid, and it's just not until you like get older and you start to see like, okay, well, this is why, like, I think everybody goes through that phase where it's just like, okay, you think everything as a kid is like flowers and roses, and once you start getting like, but even as a kid, there's a lot of kids that go through like trauma and stuff like that, but once you get older, you start to see like, once you get older, it really starts to matter, because that's when you start to decipher who is who in life, and who matter and who don't, and stuff like that. So, I told y'all these questions was gonna be deep. I took a peek at them when they came in. I told y'all, I'm looking like, dang, I'm looking like we gonna have our guests on here probably about to cry. Like, these cards gonna bring out some stuff y'all done buried deep inside you, and now you gotta really sit here and
think. Yeah, y'all, that's really about it. We good. You can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. I'm your faithful realtor, Faith spelled with an E. What's your stuff?
Natalie Lucia _ on Instagram and Twitter.
Period, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. This was episode 2, season 2, and we out, yo.